This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 2nd day of July in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The High Court today granted several orders quashing the Guyana Revenue Authority's imposition of taxes totaling more than $800 million against Hannah and Bibi Mohamed over the import and use of two luxury vehicles, after it found that the tax authority did not act lawfully in the handling of the matters involving the two remigrants. In March of last year, the Guyana Revenue Authority accused Hannah Mohamed of breaching the conditions of the tax exemptions granted for the importations of a Ferrari motorcar. The GRA contended that Hannah Mohamed, who was a sister of the opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed, failed to reside in Guyana for the mandatory period of at least 183 days annually during the concession period. It later moved to impose more than $400 million in taxes against her. But today, Justice Gino Posada ruled that the Commissioner General of the Guyana Revenue Authority failed to lawfully consider and apply his discretion in regards to the reasons proffered by Hannah Mohamed with regards to her temporary absence from Guyana. The judge said the actions of the Commissioner General of the GRA were unreasonable, arbitrary, irrational, unfair, and unlawful. The court therefore granted an order quashing the tax authority's imposition of taxes in the sum of $479.7 million in respect of Hannah Mohamed's use of that Ferrari motor car. It also granted another order quashing the GRA's requirement for Hannah Mohamed to surrender the vehicle to the Law Enforcement Division of the GRA. A permanent injunction was also granted, restraining the GRA from seizing the vehicle. In the case of Bibi Mohamed, the court ruled that the requirement set out by the GRA that a 2023 Rolls-Royce vehicle, which was imported by her under the remigrant scheme, ought to have been used solely by her as her primary mode of transportation, was unlawful. Justice Posada ruled that the requirement for Bibi Mohamed to report in person to the GRA every 6 months was also unlawful. In that case, an order was also granted quashing the imposition of taxes by the GRA to the tune of approximately $320 million. The judge also ordered permanent injunctions preventing the GRA from seizing the vehicle. Attorney at law Sian Derjon, who appeared in the case on behalf of the Mohameds alongside attorney Damien De Silva, told reporters that he was pleased with the court's ruling.
We all know the events that unfolded last year when GRA officers and police officers arrived at the house of Azruddin Mohammed in the droves to seize those vehicles. Injunctions were subsequently gotten, and here and now today, the High Court, Justice Posada, has ruled that those attempts at seizure were unlawful. The imposition of the taxes by the GRA was also unlawful, and the court was clear that the GRA was really not fair to Hannah Mohamed in that she had good reasons for what they were claiming was her breaching the tax laws, and the GRA stated that they had no discretion whatsoever to listen to her. They were duty bound to impose these taxes, but the court said no, they have to listen to her. They have to consider any reasonable explanation she might assert.
The attorney said importantly, the court also flagged certain conditions and requirements as set by the tax authority as unlawful. In the case involving Bibi Mohamed, the court ruled that a 6-month reporting requirement set out by the GRA is not authorized by the Customs Act and was therefore arbitrary, unfair, unreasonable, irrational, unlawful, and ultra-vires against the Customs Act.
Has of recent been imposing on vehicles which have been granted remigrant duty-free concessions. 2 of those conditions have been illegal all the while because they have not been sanctioned under law. The learned judge explained that the GRA could not require a remigrant to report every 6 months to the GRA with their vehicle for inspection and with their vehicle documents. That is a condition unknown to law, and the GRA could not just divine conditions at its whim and fancy. The court also made clear that that the GRA could not impose a condition that a vehicle must be used exclusively by that remigrant as their primary mode of transportation. That, again, is a stranger to the law, and it has no statutory underpinning.
According to the attorney, the decision is a damaging one to the GRA, adding that permanent injunctions against the GRA were granted in both cases. In light of his decision, Justice Gino Posad sent the matter back to the Commissioner General for reconsideration in accordance with the law. He said the GRA must fairly consider the reasons provided by Hannah Mohamed for her temporary absences from Guyana. Justice Posad also said the GRA must consider Hannah Mohamed's reasons for non-compliance, afford her the opportunity to be heard with reasonable opportunity to make any further written representation, and take into account all legally relevant matters. The judge said nothing in his ruling compels the GRA to decide the matter in favor of the applicants, noting that the Commissioner General remains a primary decision maker. The court maintained that he must exercise his powers lawfully, fairly, and rationally, in accordance with the orders of the court. The GRA was ordered to pay the respondents a total of $1.5 million in costs. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Dad knows with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Presents Slow Jams and Ja Vinci, Saturday 11th, July 2026 at the National Park. Presents Slow Jams and Ja Vinci, Saturday 11th, July 2026 at the National Park. Early bird tickets, $3,000 until Saturday 4th, July 2026.
In the morning, like my mother, when you gonna live your life.
Huggies Snug and Dry are so soft, you have to feel it to believe it. With 2 times softness, it helps keep your baby comfortable while offering up to 100% blowout and leak protection, plus a wetness indicator. You can count on Huggies Snug and Dry. We're here to support you through every moment of your baby's journey. Try Huggies Snug and Dry today. Huggies, we've got you, baby.
President Irfan Ali on Wednesday offered no clear indication of any plan to consult the new leader of the opposition, Mohammed, on the substantive appointments of a Chancellor of the Judiciary and the Chief Justice. Instead, the president told reporters that his October 2025 proposal to the then leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, still stands. Back in October last year, more than a month after the 2025 elections, which saw the We Invest in Nationhood party replacing the APNU-AFC as the country's main opposition in parliament, the president wrote to the outgoing opposition leader, Aubrey Norton, seeking consensus on the appointment of Justice Roxanne George as the substantive chancellor and Justice Navindra Singh as the substantive chief justice. Mr. Norton, who had repeatedly pressed the president to move ahead with the appointments for years, declined the consultation as he was on his way out and the new opposition leader was coming in. On Wednesday, President Ali said that his position has not changed on who he wants appointed to the top judicial positions, while sidestepping the need for consultation with the new opposition leader, Mohammed.
You know, as you're aware, I had already expressed through a letter to the then opposition leader my intentions or proposing the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. And that letter remains the position of the government.
The letter to Mr. Norton seeking an agreement on the top two judicial appointments was the first time that the president sought such an agreement on the substantive appointments since taking office in 2020. It came even after the president was preparing to announce the early retirement of Justice Janet Cummings, who had been serving in the position of acting chancellor since 2017. The president now claims that there is a gray area hanging over the issue.
Government, you see, this is a gray area that we have to navigate carefully. The government continued after winning the elections. In a continuity of government, we have expressed or suggested based on the Constitution a recommendation in terms of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. That recommendation has not changed.
In August 2025, Justice Roxanne George was sworn in to perform the duties of the office of the Chancellor of the Judiciary. She took over from Justice Janet Cummings, who at the time was on leave and had been the acting Chancellor since 2017. Justice Cummings had taken over from Justice Carl Singh, who acted from 2005 to 2017. In the case of the Chief Justice, Justice Singh was also appointed to act in August 2025. He took over from Justice George, who had also been acting as the Chief Justice since 2017. The new agreement between the Guyana Power and Light Company and the Turkish-owned Car Power Ship Company for the continuing rental of those two power ships will see Guyana paying more to have the ships remain in the country. President Irfan Ali on Wednesday confirmed that a new 2-year agreement between GPL and the Car Power Ship Company has been hammered out. According to the president, the fee for the 36-megawatt power ship docked in the Berbice River has been adjusted upward to match the existing fee for the second power ship, which is docked in Demerara. The move therefore means that the fee has increased from just over $7 per kilowatt hour to $9.05 cents per kilowatt hour, the existing rate being paid for the second power ship. At the initial rate, Guyana was paying roughly $235,000 per day to rent the two power ships. The cost is expected to increase substantially under the new 2-year agreement. The company had demanded the increase and standardized rates and had warned that it would disconnect the power ships from the national grid if the government did not heed to its demand. The Public Utilities Minister there that Indar had assured that the Guyana Power and Light Company would have made the particulars of the agreement public upon the completion of the negotiations. Back in 2024, the government through GPL signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the power ship company. Despite the intervention, power outages have been continuing.
Why a mambo is me the star. Rat-a-tat-a-tat, a big sour rat. Rat-a-tat-a-tat, a big sour rat.
KFC's Nothing to Laugh About 17, July 4th and 5th.
I don't tell you, don't come for candy because we all know you is not no price. So come downstairs with your big lip, fade back, stink mouth self. Come downstairs. KFC Nothing to Laugh About 17.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change, correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone whom you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will open Monday to Friday from 8 to 18 hours, Saturday, Sunday and holidays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, Dr. Dwight Walleran, is rubbishing claims that the black belly sheep breeding facility at Ellis in Region 5 is a white elephant. Instead, he's claiming that bad weather has been preventing works from being conducted on the facility. Earlier this week, leader of the opposition Mohammed highlighted the poor state of the facility, with video evidence of the facility not being utilized. Mr. Mohammed said millions of dollars were spent on the project, but there's not much that could be celebrated about it. In a statement, Dr. Walren said while the facility in Region 5 is just one of the breeding centers identified for the project, he noted that breeding operations have been expanded to other locations that are currently functioning optimally.
Those animals are doing pretty well. However, for Ellis, we had some challenges in terms of not the remoteness, because Ellis is excellent for this project. However, we had some unfortunate situation with the weather, which we have no control over.
Correct.
However, we would have done a number of things there to ensure that once the opportunity presents itself, that facility would be up and running.
So far, he noted the drainage and irrigation works have been completed at the facility and soil testing has been done. However, he said the facility in Region 5 will be up and running once the weather permits.
We had in excess of 450 beneficiaries. These are farmers, not wannabe farmers. Mm-hmm. These are farmers who are involved in the rearing of black belly sheep. And what we found is that we're now at the third generation with some of these farms. And we're now injecting fresh genetics into those farms to ensure that, because the Barbados black belly, it's good for, its prolific nature. You'll have a lot of twins, triplets, and so on. Mm-hmm. But in terms of meatiness, you wouldn't have that like the other meat breeds, like the Dorpas. We have Catadin. So we're now injecting some of those meaty breeds onto the Barbados black belly to give us a better product.
But the opposition leader had also raised concern about the state of the access road to the facility. He highlighted issues regarding the issuance of the contract for the road construction. However, the head of the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, Nigel Wordsworth, said the project was issued through the National Tender Board Administration, through proper tender channels. He said the road continues to serve as a farm-to-market road and provides access to farmers in the area. Launched in March 2022, the Guyana Barbados Black Belly Sheep Initiative is an agriculture project centered in Region 5 with its primary goal to establish a regional mutton brand, increase local meat production to over 7,000 tons, and slash the region's food import by 25%. Now to that story that we reported on last night on the findings of that report by the Teaching Service Commission into its probe of the abuse of a child at the David Rose Special Needs School. One of the teachers at the center of the caught-on camera mistreatment of an autistic child at the David Rose Special Needs School has been dismissed, while the other teacher, who was also under investigation and was nearing retirement, has been forced into early retirement. Senior officials at the Ministry of Education confirmed to News Source that the Teaching Service Commission completed its investigation recently and handed down its decision to get both teachers out of the education system. The Education Ministry official explained that both teachers pleaded guilty to the mistreatment claims against them during the hearing, but sought to offer explanations. During that hearing, it was also uncovered that both teachers had multiple infractions against their names, but those issues were never forwarded to the Education Ministry. Education Minister Sonia Parag was questioned on the issue yesterday, and she said while the investigation has been completed and decisions made, the Teaching Service Commission ought to make the findings of its probe public. News Source understands that there is now a recommendation for more training of teachers attached to schools with children who have special needs, as during the hearing the lack of adequate training was uncovered. Just over a month ago, there was widespread outrage after a video recording surfaced with a young boy at a special needs school being hit about the body with a belt by the teachers. The Education Ministry has carried out its own investigations and has started to put a number of systems in place at the school to ensure better monitoring and management. The family of the abused child has since hired the services of an attorney at law. The Guyana Water Incorporated GWI has stated that a recent report by the Public Utilities Commission does not show that the water supply to customers is unsafe to drink, despite concerns raised in the report by the Public Utilities Commission. In that report, the PUC found that water treatment plants at Amelia's Ward, Wizrock, Mackenzie, the Linden Power Company, Grove, Friendship, Better Hope, Sparrandam, and Bartica all recorded turbidity and iron levels outside the World Health Organization's recommended operating ranges. GWI said the findings mainly affect the water's appearance, taste, color, and the operation of the treatment plants. However, the company is adamant that it does not affect whether the water is safe to drink. GWI clarified that the Public Utilities Commission report did not find that the water quality standards linked to public health were being breached. Moreover, GWI said it is aware that improvements are needed and noted that several of the treatment plants named in the report were already being upgraded during 2025 under its Coastal Water Treatment Infrastructure Program. The work includes new filtration systems and other improvements to improve the quality of water. The company also responded to the PUC's concerns about water meter installations. It said it installed 68,449 domestic water meters between 2022 and 2024, exceeding the target of 60,000 set under the PUC Order No. 2 of 2018. While the Public Utilities Commission reported a drop in meter installations in 2025, GWI said the drop was as a result of its supplier moving its manufacturing from Brazil to China. That move caused delays in shipments of the water meters to Guyana, but the problem has since been resolved. GWI also said it was disappointed that it was not given a chance to explain the technical findings before the report was made public. It believes this would have helped give the public a more balanced understanding of the PUC's findings. The company said it remains committed to improving its water treatment systems and providing customers with water that meets health and safety standards.
This Emancipation Day, celebrate culture, heritage, and unity at the 8th Annual Freedom Fest 2026. Shades of Melanin. Join us on Saturday, the 1st of August at Bay Rock National Stadium in Linden, starting at 10 a.m. Admission absolutely free. Experience the recognition of outstanding Lindeners, vibrant African attire, cultural displays, African art, delicious cuisines, music, drumming, kids activities, vending booths, and so much more. It's the 8th Annual Freedom Fest. Shades of Melanin. Bring out the entire family and celebrate the beauty, strength, and spirit of African heritage. Freedom Fest 2026. Shades of Melanin. Hosted by Figgy Entertainment in collaboration with the Wisma Flats Group. Don't miss it.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Tuesday, July 14, 2026 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome to Churches New Amsterdam.
20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Guyana, the love keeps growing, and we thankful for the support you are showing. We got so many locations and much more to come. It's gratitude and celebration. Can you feel the love? 20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We don't want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Punch any test when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future.
Feel spice power in every sip.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Peru's government declared a state of emergency in 796 districts, about 40% of the country's total, citing imminent danger from heavy rains associated with El Nino weather phenomenon, according to a government decree published Thursday. The 60-day measure enables the government to carry out extraordinary measures and actions to reduce very high risk the districts are facing. The emergency, established by a decree signed by the outgoing president, Jose Balcazar, spans regions including Lima and Cusco. Regional and local governments will implement the emergency measures in coordination with national authorities, the decree stated. The measures implemented during the state of emergency will be financed from existing institutional budgets of the agencies involved, without requiring additional resources from the public treasury. El Nino is a periodic warming of the Pacific Ocean surface temperatures that disrupts global weather patterns, often bringing drought to some crop-producing regions and heavier rains in others. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Wednesday launched a U.S. $24 million emergency appeal to support the first 6 months of the health response and early recovery following the devastating earthquakes that struck Venezuela on June 24. A release from PAHO said the funds will support the delivery of life-saving health services, restoring essential health care, strengthening disease surveillance and outbreak prevention, ensuring continued access to essential medicines and vaccines, and rebuilding the operational capacity of the health system in the areas hardest hit by the quakes. PAHO said the appeal aims to support approximately 700,000 people living in the municipalities most severely impacted by the earthquakes. And finally tonight, international news. Russian forces launched a major drone and missile attack on Kyiv overnight, killing 20 people in what the city's mayor has described as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital. The mayor said around 90 people were injured. He said an ambulance station was among the places hit in the strikes and declared Friday a day of mourning. Although previous attacks have killed more people, this latest barrage deployed the largest number of weapons on the capital and hit locations over a very wide area of Kyiv. Several neighborhoods were evacuated as strikes rocked buildings throughout the city, hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned Russia was preparing an attack. Moscow said its forces hit what it called military plants in retaliation against attacks on Russian civilian infrastructure. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Thursday that Russia would continue to increase pressure on Kyiv regime in order to achieve their set goals. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.